everybody for years has talked about, Vince screwed Bret, but I never saw that. I think if Vince was out there fucking Bret Hart, then this is something we would have never forgot.
It's hardcore. It's uncensored. It's On Your Mark with Mark E. Xtreme.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back with another On Your Mark episode. I am Skeeter Skyfyler, and I am tickled pink and black to be sitting here with the greatest champ of all time, Mark E. Xtreme.
Oh, first of all, Skeeter, I don't want to ever think about anybody tinkling you in any color, but you obviously, again, another week of butchering my intro. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mark. Xtreme, 15 plus years undefeated backyard wrestling entertainment champion and owner of Backyard Wrestling Entertainment, and not to mention also the host of On Your Mark, the hit podcast that is #1, baby. Don't need to go look up the numbers because it's coming out of my mouth right now. We are the best wrestling podcast there is. We're better than Bruce Blizzard, and we're better than Conrad Thompson, and we're better than Vince Russo. So no need to listen to all those bitches because we're the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever is. And I'm here to tell you the reason being is because we are doing everything you've loved for years over at YouTube on our On Your Mark show. Except now it's uncensored. It's more extreme than it is ever before, and I ain't holding back. And I am gonna give it to you like it always has should have been from the horse's mouth himself, Mark E. Xtreme.
Good. Yes, I agree. This show is uncensored, and that's all we need to say about that.
No, it ain't, because people love shit, people love dick, and people love fuck.
Now, I don't know if people really like those things in that way.
Oh, hell yeah, gross. They do. You know why? And I've said it before, and I've said it again. People love cussing.
Not everybody. All right.
Good God, clear your damn throat.
I did. I don't know why I've been coughing a bunch lately.
Put a lozenge in your mouth.
I don't have any.
Are you sick?
I don't know. I've been feeling weird lately. Whenever I go out, I don't know. Everybody seems to be walking away whenever I'm coughing all the time.
Good Lord, take care of yourself. Maybe you need some vitamin E, but we'll get into that later.
Well, this week we are talking about none other than Bret Hitman Hart.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Bret Hitman Hart.
The Hitman.
Hitman.
The Bret, whatever. Shut up. Continue.
Bret Hitman Hart. We're talking about him, but first we got to thank our patrons over on patreon.com/OYM show. You get your extreme shoutouts.
Angela, Elias, Bobcat, and Max. Thank you all for supporting the On Your Mark podcast.
So let's talk about Bret Hitman Hart. He was born Bret Sergeant Hart.
Wait, slow down, Skeeters. Hold on before we start rubbing somebody else. Okay, we have a lot of business that we gotta take care of before we get into this. We have a big competition happening over at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/OnYourMarkShow. It's On Your Mark 10K go. And what we're doing is when we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're gonna be pulling one of our subscribers randomly from a hat and giving you a copy of the best dang wrestling game that will ever exist, WWE Battleground. The first game that you can actually kill John Cena by throwing him into a gator's mouth. So be sure to go subscribe to be entered into our 10K giveaway, baby. Yeah.
And also be sure to leave a rating and review on our Apple Podcasts. And we're going to be reading another one here in a couple weeks. We're going to choose somebody at random, and you're going to win a free t-shirt from us. And that's super exciting. So you want to be sure to do that. And all right, now are we ready to get into Bret Hitman Hart?
I guess.
Okay, he was born Bret Sergeant Hart, which I guess means he's a military baby. That's exciting.
Wait, is that his name he's born with?
Yeah, he's a sergeant.
That's cool as hell. Continue. I like that.
He's born July 2nd in 1956 in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, which is strange because July 4th, that's America's Independence Day. That's a little weird, don't you think?
That is a little weird, but let me go back just 1 second. He was born with the name Sergeant. I was born with the name Xtreme. Continue.
Well, he is a part of the Hart family, and there's just a lot of them. I tried to track down all the Harts, but there's just too dang many. There's like a Owen, there's like a Bruce, there's like a Stu. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of Harts. So he's got a bunch of brothers and sisters, and they're all wrestlers. I think every single one of them. So he trained in the Hart family dungeon. Have you ever been there, Marky Xtreme?
No, I haven't had a need to. I got the Backyard Wrestling Academy that, I get all the work in there that I need to or used to need to. Now I'm just teaching, because I'm a retired professional backyard entertainer, kind of like Bret Hart, and I, it's funny a lot. Him and I share so much in common. We were born with kick-ass names. We're from wrestling families. My dad was a wrestler. Don't know who he is, but he was a wrestler, and we both, we came from kick-ass wrestling schools. But it's pretty. I don't know. We got a lot in common, is all I'm saying. Continue with your research.
Well, then, he's in Stampede Wrestling, which was his father, Stu Hart's wrestling company, and then from there.
No, it's a rodeo.
Oh, is that right? Oh, dang it! I messed that up.
Yeah. Dang
it. All right. I guess he was in the rodeo for a while, and then he's like, "I'm gonna become a professional wrestler." And then he joined the WWE and was in the Hart Foundation with Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Jimmy Mouth of the South Hart. And I think both of them are his uncles or something because they all related. All of them related. So he's in the Pink and Black Attack. What do you think of the Pink and Black Attack, Marky Xtreme?
Well, I think pink is a wussy color, so they should have chosen something like red and black, like the Wolf Pack. Like those are the two coolest colors in wrestling history, other than my 6 shirts of blue and black. But I think that I thought it was pretty cool. I just think the color scheme could have been a little bit cooler.
I like pink. What's wrong with pink?
You would like pink.
Yeah, well, I do, so it makes sense that I would.
Yeah, you would like pink.
Well, I do. I mean, who else likes pink? Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
Oh, the hands are climbing. I can hear all the hands raising. You would like pink.
Well, they were a great tag team with a great manager. And boy, the list of accomplishment Bret Hart's had. He's a 5-time WWE champion. He is a 2-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion. I'm not even done yet, Mark Xtreme, but you're only a 1-time champion. He's a 2-time Intercontinental Champion.
Let me just stop. Let me stop you right there, Skeeter. Yes, I know I haven't held as many belts as Bret Hart, but we have so much in common as prestigious champions. I am a 15-plus year undefeated champion, so I've held this belt longer than anybody's held it. All these belts that Bret's had, he's lost them how many times? I've held 1 belt, but I've never lost it, So continue with your hard-hitting research, Skeeter.
5-time United States champion. 2-time King of the Ring. Ain't nobody done that before. 2-time WWE Tag Team Champion. You've never been a Tag Team Champion. WCW Tag Team Champion. A Royal Rumble winner. A 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, and was even tackled and got back up and then kept going in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's done so much. That's probably way more than 15, which is how many years you've been champion.
Okay, Skeeter, listen here. I have held this belt for 15 plus years undefeated, so I've never lost it. Yes, I haven't won as many belts as he has, but the proof is in the pudding that he is, without a shadow of a doubt, very talented. He's one of the best there is, and so am I. I think it's awesome and something that's worth to be noted in your research, how much in common I have with Bret the Hitman Hart, okay? I mean, we're both some of the greatest of the business, and, That's what you should be focusing on. I can't believe that got skipped over in your hard-hitting research today, Skeeter. But I'm just going to let you continue. But before we do that, earlier, Skeeter, you had a cough. Maybe your system is lacking some vitamin E. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get the best supplement that there is on the workout market, then baby, you should get Mark E Xtreme's Talent Enhancement Gummies. Take it away, Skeeter.
So when you take Mark E Xtreme Talent Enhancement Gummies, you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel stronger. You're gonna feel faster. You're gonna feel quicker.
Yep.
I don't know another word that other than strong and fast, because I feel like that's all you should be.
Everything that you want to be better at, this gummy helps.
But if you eat more than one bottle, you will throw up. I've done that several times. And these bottles are not cheap. They are expensive. And currently not FDA approved. That should be noted. We're legally bound to say that.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah, that's true. So get your bottle of Mark and Skeeter Talent Enhancement Gummies today.
Better than Ryback's shit.
I don't know about that. He's big.
So what?
I mean, he's a pretty big guy. He's a big guy.
Have you seen me next to him? Nope. So you can't put a size comparison there.
Didn't he block you on Twitter?
No. That's Jim Cornette.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a matter of time before he blocks you on Twitter.
Stop. He's not going to block me.
Well, another thing that Bret Hart did, which might be the coolest thing in the world, is Bret Hart was on an episode of The Simpsons.
Wait. How is that possible?
What do you mean?
It's a cartoon. How is a real human on a cartoon?
Well, he probably just drew himself. Then they took it and they Star Wars'd him in it or something.
This isn't scientifically possible, Skeeter. I think you got this one messed up.
I think he just drew himself and then they just put it in, right? That's how you do it. If you want to be in a cartoon, you draw yourself.
No, there's movies with real people and there's cartoons with cartoon people. Two different things, okay? Two different things. That's like there's pro wrestling and then there's MMA. You know, the fucking MMA shit is where the pussies play. You only where the big pussies play, go to the MMA. You want to see where the big boys play? It's in wrestling, okay? Two different things. So Skeeter, your reporting today has sucked. And if it doesn't get better, and by the next episode, we might have to find somebody to replace you.
How do you explain the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Mark E Xtreme?
That never happened.
There's cartoons and real people.
Have you heard of the Nelson Mandela syndrome?
Yeah. That's when you fall in love with a prisoner.
What the fuck are you talking about? The Nelson Mandela syndrome is when you think something happened that didn't happen. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a whole movie that people think happened that didn't really happen.
I thought it was the Mario Brothers, man, talking to Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse.
You sound like you have gone crazy. You sound like you have hit your head to me probably many times, and that's probably what's happened, Skeeter. Let's get back to this goddamn episode. I gotta take a shit.
All right. Well, we had many classic WrestleMania matches from Bret Hitman Hart, including WrestleMania 12 for the WWE Championship against Shawn Michaels in an Iron Man match. This might be the greatest WrestleMania match of all time.
Yeah, well, I had a better match because those kids only went out there for 16 minutes. Now, don't get me wrong, they tore it up. It was a kick-ass match. I loved it. I mean, but I've been out there and I had a 3-hour Iron Man match. This is a recurring thing that I'm noticing. While Bret Hart is one of the best in this business, everything that he's done, I've done a little bit better. And it is what it is. It's in the Guinness record book. And if you want proof, then I'll show you. But Bret Hart, that doesn't change the fact that this was a kick-ass match. I enjoyed it for the art that it was. As one of the boys and one of the guys in this business, I got to give him a shout out. Those kids went out there, tore it down, and but I tore it down more.
Well, yeah, that I certainly love your Iron Man match. I thought it was great, and in my research, I did find another comparison. So everyone says that Bret Hitman Hart is a great technical wrestler, and a lot of the people you've met and interviewed, they said, "Oh, great! I guess technically he's a wrestler." So that's pretty good.
No, they say I'm a great technical wrestler.
No, they say, "Oh, great! I guess technically he's a wrestler."
Skeeter, you wouldn't even know what your head is if it wasn't attached to you. You don't.
I wouldn't.
You hear one thing, and then you think you heard another thing. That's not what the wrestler said.
Which thing?
Anything.
The first thing that you said, or the second thing you said? Because I heard
that's back in my point. You can't. You obviously haven't cleaned your ears in years, and you're the most dumbest person I've ever met. They never said that. What they did say, and these guys have said, is I'm a great technical wrestler. And then I look at them and I shake them. I give them the wrestler soft handshake, with the three fingers, and I say thank you. I look them in the eyes and I said thank you. I really appreciate that you recognize greatness.
I don't know if that's ever been said. You might want to play the audio of that or something. Do you want to play that now?
Nope.
Do you not have it? Did you not record it when they said it? I don't know.
That audio doesn't exist.
I don't know. I guess I heard the one thing and I never heard the other because they never said it.
Continue with this.
1997, at the Survivor Series, came the infamous Montreal Screwjob, in which Vince McMahon saw Bret Hart was making a movie backstage and then screwed him so he didn't have to be in the movie, and then took the title off of Shawn Michaels with Earl Hebner, and it was a big kerfuffle.
This is just something that's always confused me. Is everybody for years has talked about Vince screwed Bret, but I never saw that. I think if Vince was out there fucking Bret Hart, then this is something we would have never forgot in this business. But, what did happen is they went out there and there was a big mix up, and, it went down in history as one of the craziest nights in wrestling history. But what didn't happen is Vince McMahon did not fuck Bret Hart in the ring.
I didn't see it, and I was looking. I've watched that tons of times.
I'm always looking for sex in a ring.
But I don't get what the whole thing is they're talking about, because the referee said, that's it, he quit. So clearly he quit. You can't not quit if the referee didn't say you quit.
Right? Exactly. I don't get what happened.
They say, oh, this is fake. It's not fake, it's real.
I agree 100%. I mean, this is a legitimate sport, and when and those guys are out there, the ref's word is the final word. And so whatever Earl Hebner said actually happened. Vince didn't screw anybody, clearly. I think that would have left some DNA in the ring for sure, and that DNA was never found. And so that whole night goes down as one of the biggest, what I would say is biggest misunderstandings in wrestling history.
It was huge, to say the most. And then from there, Bret Hitman Hart swam ship.
The Hitman.
Bret Hitman Hart swam ship to WCW. Mark Xtreme, do you think that was the right move to go from WWE to WCW?
I thought that it was going to be cool as hell, but all I remember about that is I never understood, was he an NWO guy or a WCW guy? Like, one week he was kicking ass in the NWO and it was too sweet and it was for life, and then he would be then he wouldn't be. I just didn't understand what the hell was happening.
Well, that's what I found in my research, that he was an NWO associate member. I don't know what that is. I was never in the NWO. I tried. I wrote a bunch of letters and stuff, but they never.
Well, you could never be, because you're not cool enough. But
so a lot of people say I'm real sweet, though.
Yeah. Do you want to be cool or do you want to be sweet in this world? I mean,
well, yeah,
I want to be too sweet. That's what I want to be.
Well, exactly. That if I'm sweet enough, right, that people are going to go, oh, you're just too sweet. See, and then I'd be NWO.
But you shouldn't want to be sweet. You want to be cool. So then you can be in the NWO and be too sweet, right?
Marky Xtreme, you have a very handsome face.
Oh my God! Stop!
Is that sweet? Is that being sweet? Is that being nice?
No, that's too sweet. Okay, so someone can stop.
So you said I'm too sweet.
No, I meant
I could be NWO.
Skeeter, stop! You've officially there's a part of the episode where you've pissed me off. So let's get on with the show.
Toe ride.
The fuck was that?
That's what Conrad Thompson does. He says toll ride, and then he pops open a can.
Toll ride?
Toll ride. Because when you're driving, you gotta pay the tolls. Toll ride.
I don't think that's what he probably said. Skeeter, continue. But we did recently something that's kick asses. We did recently have a shoot interview that was released on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/OnYourMarkShow, with one of the Harts himself, Teddy Hart. That was pretty sick.
That was way sick. He's like the long lost son of Bret the Hitman Hart, I think. Bret Hitman Hart.
The Bret the Hitman Hart. But yeah, that was pretty sick. And oh boy, Teddy Hart sure did have a lot to say, didn't he, Skeeter?
He sure did. And one of the things they talk about was what we're about to get to with Bret Hart fighting Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 26. Like after the whole falling out between Bret Hart and WWE, he comes back and fights Vince McMahon. And Teddy Hart had a little bit to say about that.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's dive into the vault.
From the vault.
Teddy Hart, WrestleMania 24, Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon. Every Hart hit Vincent McMahon in the head with a chair, and then they slap every Hart hit McMahon with a chair and slapped him. Where were you at?
I wouldn't dare slap or hit Vince McMahon with anything but a fucking handshake and a hug. I wasn't down for the whole hitting Vince shit. I thought Bret was responsible for that situation happening and indirectly responsible for what had happened to Owen. Obviously, it wasn't his fault, but if you hadn't pushed that button, then ripple effect wouldn't have been what it was. And they could say it was a work. I've heard different stories from fucking that was a work. Bret knew, Sean knew, Hebner knew, Bruce Pritchard didn't know. Cornette said this. All I know is that fucking it was terrible for wrestling. I didn't get to see the dream matches I wanted to. I had to see Bret in WCW without Benoit, without fucking Owen, without Davey, without Jim. As a team, properly, I'm saying I would have rather seen Jericho and Bret and Lance Storm and Christian and Edge and all in the same team with Tyson Kidd and Jack Evans and myself and Harry and Natalia kicking the shit out of Randy Orton, Batista, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and fucking Cody Rhodes and some of those guys on the other end of it, you know what I mean? Or having 5-star matches. But because of that shit with Bret, whatever the hell it was, Owen died out of it. Davey Boy died out of it. Jim Neidhart didn't really prosper after that. I didn't get to see Owen Hart in a world title match with WWE after that. I should have, and it robbed me of a lot of memories as a fan. At the end of the fucking day, guys, I'm a fan of wrestling. I love WWE, and I love what Vince McMahon created as the possibility for what a bunch of indie promotions were.
Well, man, there you have it. I mean, I don't know how that hasn't hit the sheets yet over on the Meltzermans.
I don't know either. I guess those guys just hate news.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's a pretty big deal for, I guess, Vince McMahon and Bret Hart said they screwed each other, but they never filmed it. Maybe that's what they're upset about because they forgot to tape it. Because I know sex tapes are a big thing. So maybe they're upset they just never got to release that for Coliseum Video.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I know that I'm sitting on a couple sex tapes, but I'm just waiting to the right time to release them.
Can I see him?
No, that's weird as hell. I don't want you to see my pecker.
Well, I mean, if you're going to show them to everybody, what's the problem with me watching them?
Yeah, but I don't want you to see them. That'd be like if my mom saw my sex tape. I don't want my mom to see my pecker. My mom's never seen my pecker. I made that very clear when I was convalescent enough that I could think that at age 2 and 3, I was like, no, Mom, stop looking at my pecker. You know.
What about ages 0 to 2 to 3?
I couldn't think on my own. I started thinking on my own at age 2. And past that point, I was like, no more looking at my pecker, Mom. It is very weird.
Well, what if your mom and I sat down and watched your sex tapes together? Wouldn't that make it all right?
No. What does that mean? 2 wrongs don't make a wrong, okay? That doesn't make anything right.
Okay, what about, Skeeter, your mom, and your stepdad, Ted, we all sit down and watch your sex tape. Is that good?
That would make it extra worse. Nothing would make that situation right. Not even a Marky Xtreme t-shirt. Skeeter, Skyfyler, where can people get one of the kick-ass Marky Xtreme On Your Mark t-shirts?
You go get yourself some internet and go to www.prowrestlingtees.com/OYM show, and your eyes are gonna pop out of your head when you see how many torso coverings you can find there at that shop. And you can go, look at that Marky Xtreme shirt, that's so cool. Look at that Skeeter Skyfly shirt, that's probably even cooler. Look at that Extreme Crew shirt, that's pretty cool.
Jesus Christ, I'll take this over. If anybody's ever pointed at your torso and said, wow, that looks weird as fuck, well, you should cover it up with an On Your Mark t-shirt. We've got so many to choose from the Mark E Xtreme shirt, all the way over to the Make Wrestling Great Again, but be sure to never buy the Skeeter Skyflyer t-shirt.
I was gasping so much I choked.
Yeah, you really need to take some talent enhancement gummies.
Well, so you get yourself a shirt and you're going to be set for life because that's too sweet. Just like me. You said I was too sweet.
Skeeter, are you sick? What the hell is happening?
I don't know. I've been going out and stuff, and I don't know, every time I just, when I see things that I like that are soft, I rub them on my face.
Stop licking doorknobs.
Why? Some people had some candy and they're holding it in their hand, and I don't have the money to buy candy right now.
You can't just assume that every doorknob has been touched by somebody that was just recently holding candy.
I can't. Well, sometimes it is, and sometimes it tastes pretty good.
Yes, that's happened occasionally, but that doesn't always happen, Skeeter. That is the dumbest thing to ever just be like, oh, fuck it. God dang it, Skeeter.
I have licked 2 doorknobs in my life where someone had candy before. And all the other times they haven't, but it was good. It was strawberry and cherry.
Skeeter,
those were delicious.
Ladies and
doorknobs.
gentlemen, I'm going to call out Skeeter right now. He's sitting since every time I've been around him, he does not open a single doorknob with his hands. He always opens them with his mouth. And I think it's disgusting. And that's probably why you're fucking coughing your lungs out, Skeeter.
Look, why would I open a door with my hands? I haven't held any candy, so that wouldn't be nice to anybody else.
I'm going to pray for you.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it. Then, surprisingly, after all these years, then Bret Hart's in WWE being a good ambassador, making DVDs and stuff, he then jumped ship again and presented the AEW World Championship at AEW Double or Nothing. Did you see this moment?
No, I mean, I don't really watch my competition. What happened?
Are you serious? Oh, AEW is so cool. Okay, so this is at Double or Nothing, the first AEW pay-per-view, and Bret Hart comes out and never had anyone seen the AEW title before, and he presents it, and then is not nice at all. MJF comes down and he says a lot of mean things to Bret the Hitman Hart, which I don't think was okay. I think they should have edited that out because it wasn't uncensored. So they should have just cut all that because that was disrespectful.
No, they why would anybody cut that?
Because it's mean to Bret the Hitman Hart. He's done a lot for this business.
Yeah, but people like uncensored shit.
I don't care for it. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing the show because I prefer censored things. I never liked that WCW pay-per-view uncensored. I wish they had WCW censored.
That's why you're wrestling's biggest pussy.
You don't need to say that. You can say I'm wrestling's biggest vagina. Thank you.
Okay. We'll do that from now on. Doesn't matter. Pussy, vagina. It's both the same pink. That's the kind of pink and black attack I like.
Are they supposed to be black too?
Only ones I've ever seen.
Oh, all right. I ain't never seen one yet, so I don't know. Bret the Hitman Hart was the author of the book Hitman, My Real Life in the Cartoon World of Wrestling. Well, now wait a second. Wait a second.
That's where things get confusing.
Wait a second. He's a real person in a cartoon world. So he's the Roger Rabbit man.
Nelson Mandela syndrome.
So he's in love with a prisoner?
No, this is another thing that never happened.
He never wrote a book?
I guess not. If the title is that, then the book never was a real thing.
I'm confused. I never read this book.
Also,
Have you
Skeeter,
read
we
the
shouldn't
book?
be promoting books that aren't a sponsor.
Well, yeah, I was just going to ask if you ever read the book.
I don't got time to read a book. I'm all I got time for is to plan the next Backyard Wrestling Entertainment show, Skeeter. You know, and
You
I want
sit on the toilet for like 4 hours a day. I think you got time to read a
Hey,
book.
regardless of where I conduct my business, shitting or sitting, the business gets handled.
You gotta be careful sometimes when you sit and then you do poop. You're not always on the toilet.
Sometimes I'm that busy.
Well, do you think there's ever one more run that Bret Hart's going to have?
You know, at the end of this business, it's clearly never say never, you know, right? And this is another thing that we could compare me with Bret Hart to. I think a lot of people look at Bret Hart and look at all the stuff he's been through and say, hell, I want to see that motherfucker take a tombstone. You know, I want to see him take some sick ass bumps and risk his life. And, you know, I think that this time with Marquee Xtreme, it's no different. I think that I am retired just like Bret Hart. And a lot of people, the demand is really high to see me in the ring again. And I've made it very clear that the money has to be right. Shao Kahn, if you're listening, Hunter, if you're listening, if you want Marquee Xtreme in your ring, if you want Bret Hart in your ring, then I'm sure the money's got to be right, you know? So, but we always go back in this business. It's a never say never business. And, you know, I think it is definitely clear people would love to see the dream matches they've never seen. You know, Bret Hart versus Kurt Hawkins, or, you know, Bret Hart versus Simon Dean. You know, these are dream matches everybody talks about. And then there's a big long list of dream matches that people want to see with Marquee Xtreme as well. So, you know, but that's a part of this, you know, business. It's an unfortunate truth is there's just some matches we're never going to get to see. And, you know, there's a lot with Bret that, you know, that we may just unfortunately never get to see.
Well, I hope that's not true, because maybe you could have one of those matches in Saudi Arabia, because that's where all my dream matches come through. So it'd be Marquee Xtreme versus Bret Hart in Saudi Arabia.
Hell, man, I would go over there and shed some blood for that green. You know, I think that there's no better place to shed some blood over there than over there. You know, and I hear all the money that they're shoveling out for some of wrestling's biggest legends. So they're going to be bringing everybody in. So I would love to do it. And I'm sure Bret would love to do it. And hell, Bret the Hitman Hart versus Marquee Xtreme. I think that's a match that would put some people in the seats.
I'd be there. I'd be sitting front row. That'd be so exciting.
Nah, I wouldn't. You wouldn't. I wouldn't let you come.
All right. Well, that wraps us up for today. Talking about Bret Hitman Hart.
Yes, it did. What a great episode, Skeeter. You need to freshen up your reporting skills. Had a few hiccups that I'll forgive this time. But before we go, Skeeter, like you mentioned earlier in the episode when we gave our Patreon shout outs, we do have a Patreon up now. So be sure to check that out at patreon.com/OIM show to figure out how you can be just more deep inside me, inside of the On Your Mark universe.
And be sure to check out other great podcasts on Dragon Wagon Radio. You can go to dragonwagonradio.com and also check out on whatever app you listen to your podcast. There's a great show on the network called Judge a Book by its Cover Model that has a cover model guy.
Is it about books or models?
Well, that's the thing.
Because it's two different things, Skeeter. If it's about models, I'm listening. If it's about books, they can fuck off.
Well, okay, it's about both, because it's like a Fabio guy, right? He's like a big, muscular, good-looking guy. Like, he's bigger and taller than you and like big muscles and big hair. And he's also an English lit major, and he reviews the books that he's the cover model for, which I think is a great idea for a show. So check that out.
I'm very confused.
There's that. And also be sure to check out youtube.com/OnYourMarkShow, where you can check out all the great shoot interviews that Marquee Xtreme's done over the years. And check us out on TikTok at OIM Show, almost at 13,000 subscribers. But I frankly, I think there could be some more Skeeter videos on there.
The people give them what they want.
Okay, well, potato. There's all that great stuff and more. So be sure you're following us on social media at OYM Show, and you'll never miss out on all the fun stuff that Marky Xtreme is doing for you.
I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I got to take a mean shit.
Dragon Wagon.